Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, Savvylicious Arrangements. So here is my high ratio shortening. This is what I'm going to be making or using to make my stiff buttercream. I'm so glad that I found this. I've been searching high and low for high ratio shortening. You can purchase it off of Amazon, but Amazon wants like $89, $79, $129. I wound up going to my cake supply place that's near me, and I asked them if they had shortening, and this is what they gave me, and it was $10 for this tub. So here I'm just taking 1 cup of high ratio shortening. I am going to place that into my KitchenAid mixer. I'm trying to get all of it out. I don't want nothing left behind, okay? And here I'm going to take 1 stick, which would be 1 cup of butter, room temperature. This is unsalted sweet cream butter. They didn't have regular butter due to the COVID-19. Everything's been gone and demolished. So this is what I'm working with. I'm taking my favorite vanilla, which is the Madagascar vanilla. And this vanilla is seasonal. You can only get this vanilla seasonal. It comes from Madagascar of Africa. It is imported to the US and it's really good. I like it. I have like 3 bottles of it. Even though it's really pricey, it's worth it. I'm taking 2 tablespoons of margarine powder, which is equivalent as egg whites. And I have my spatula and my mixer, and I'm just gonna I was trying to mix it together, but that didn't work. So I'm just gonna let the KitchenAid do its own thing. So I'm just putting my mixer on 2, and I'm just gonna let that go ahead and mix together. And from time to time, I'll just turn it up each time. So as everything is combining together, I'm just going to let that continue to mix until it's fully incorporated and blended well. And then our next step will be to add our powdered sugar. So you see how me cleaning off my bowl and placing it onto the paddle of the KitchenAid. See how stiff that is? It's like not going anywhere. That's the consistency that I want. Not that stiff, but that's pretty much the consistency where it's not moving, you know. It came out really good. This was my first time making it, and I was just like, let me show YouTube. You know, rather if it was a fail or if it was an A+, I still wanted to show you guys. So it came out really well. It wasn't too sweet. It wasn't too stiff. It was nice and smooth. It was very creamy. I was very satisfied with how it turned out. So I'm going to be placing 4 cups of powdered sugar at a time. So I'm going to do 4 cups of sugar in the beginning, powdered sugar in the beginning, and then let that mix, let that blend, and then I'll do another 4. So altogether it will be 8 cups of powdered sugar. So if you guys have any icing recipes that you guys love and you guys been using for the last decade or however long you've been using it, and it's your favorite recipe, please leave it in the comments below, because I would like to try other recipes as far as making icing. I'm still learning this whole cake structure thing. Do you see me trying to cover the powdered sugar? I was just like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just let it fall out. Just let it go everywhere. I'll clean it up when I'm finished. But yes, if you have any icing recipes that you may have got taught from your grandmother or your mom, it's a family recipe or something like that, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to try it out. Maybe you can see your recipe here on YouTube. But I added my 4 cups of powdered sugar, and this is what the icing turned out as. I'm now adding 4 more cups of sugar. And there is my last 4 cups of sugar. I am trying to mix the powdered sugar in with the icing, but the icing is a little stiff and the paddle was in the way. So I was just like, you know what? I'll figure it out. And here I mixed my last 4 cups. Now I am doing 10 cups of, or is it 9? I think it's 9 tablespoons of milk. And the milk is what makes it creamy, makes it smooth, and just makes it very delightful. So I'm going to be mixing this until it's fully blended and mixed together. I have it on low right now, but eventually I'll go ahead and speed it up. I just didn't want the milk splashing all over the place. So now that the milk is fully incorporated, I turned my mixer up to 4. And I'm going to leave this and let this blend for a good 2 to 3 minutes. Do you see how well it's coming together? Now I have it on 10 speed and it's like really smooth and creamy. The only thing I don't like about it is because I used the brown vanilla, that it kind of turned it a beige color. It doesn't look that bad in person or on camera, but it's not white like I wanted it to be. So you see how my icing is nice and stiff. It's not falling off the paddle. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it some more just to make sure that it's fully incorporated from the bottom and nothing is sitting at the bottom of the bowl. Here I'm going in with some vanilla bean paste. This one is really good also. The quality of this product is amazing. This bottle alone was $23.99. And I got that bottle from Home Goods. And Home Goods is supposed to be half price. So the common, or it said compare price to $43.99, and I got it for $23. So I figured I'll just buy it and see what the hype was about, since it was like one of the most expensive products that was in Home Goods in the food department section, where the vanilla and all of that stuff was. So now I'm just showing you the consistency of the icing. Do you see how stiff it is? Wouldn't say stiff, but it's holding its structure. I've had icing run off my spoon. I've had icing fall off my spoon. It was never to this capacity where my icing was this great, was this good, you know. And if you feel as though that your icing is too thick, or if you decide to make this batch and it's too thick for you, you can always add more milk. See how my icing is staying on my spatula? It's not moving. I have to actually tap it to get it to fall off, or shake it to get it to fall off. You have to use a little bit of muscle with this icing, but it's worth it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's nice and creamy. It's nice and smooth. It's the bomb. Like, I love it. Like, this is probably going to be my go-to icing recipe. So if you don't want your icing to be this stiff, you can add more milk. The more milk, the more loose your icing will become. So I would say start off with 9 or 10 tablespoons and give it a try. And if you don't like the consistency, you can add 2 to 3 more tablespoons to where your icing is nice and flowy. So here I just made a batch of red velvet cake because that's what I'm using, or this is what the customer asked for. So I'm just making a batch of red velvet cake. Here I'm leveling up my cake.
Look at that, look at that.
That's what the leveler is for. And I'm showing you guys that it is leveled. And I am taking the icing and I'm just putting it in between layers so I can do my crumb coat. And I just wanted to show you that the icing isn't moving, it isn't falling, it isn't sliding or anything like that. It's holding its shape, and that's what I love the most. And here is the end result of how my icing came out. I used the same batch, but just separated it and put it into 3 different colors. And this is how the icing turned out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video.